that a very tense time to live in?
Las casas teníamos que poner frazadas para que no se vea la luz de afuera.
It seems like the stuff that was put here was literally just abandoned overnight.
Yeah. Senseless war.
Situated at the very southern tip of South America is a region called Tierra del Fuego, a large archipelago split between the nations of Chile and Argentina that sits right at the doorstep of Antarctica. The islands of this region were originally settled over 10,000 years ago by local hunter-gatherers who used to communicate with other islands using smoke signals built from large bonfires they built, which is why this region is appropriately named Land of the Fire. But in 1978, a series of escalating military aggressions between these two nations, mainly by that of Argentina, over the ownership of 3 islands to the east of the Beagle Channel, Picton, Lennox, and Nueva, almost brought these two nations to the brink of war. Thankfully, in 1979, the Pope, of all people, stepped in to mediate potential conflict between Chile and Argentina. And while there were ongoing negotiations by both sides for the following years that were mediated by the Pope, tensions unfortunately continued to rise, and eventually in 1982, Argentina and the United Kingdom entered into armed conflict with each other, in a conflict known as the Falklands War. And although this video is not about that conflict, the Falklands War did in fact shape what this area is today. Located just 40 kilometers to the west of these disputed lands sits a rather large island named Isla Navarino, where the small city of Puerto Williams is situated. Officially the southernmost city on the planet. As you can imagine, the journey to reach such a remote city in such a remote region of the world is a long one. 5 days in fact, starting with an early morning Uber ride through Rotten Hobo Cumville, Seattle, Washington, then followed by a train to the airport, then a flight from Seattle to San Francisco,
but wait, there's more!
Then a connecting flight to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, then an 11-hour flight all the way down to Santiago, Chile, with a full 24-hour layover.
But I'm not done yet!
And finally a 4th and final flight down to the rather large city of Punta Arenas in southern Chile,
But I'm still not done!
where, after a one night's rest, the final 220-mile leg of the journey is completed by boat. Last flight of the entire trip. A 3.5-hour flight from Santiago to Punta Arenas in southern Chile. I've completed most of the actual distance of this trip, the actual physical distance I have to travel in order to get to Puerto Williams, excuse me. But tomorrow is where the fun really begins, because the final leg of this journey is a 32-hour boat ride from Punta Arenas to Puerto Williams. And it leaves at like 4 p.m. tomorrow, and it arrives at 2 a.m. 2 days later. Gracias, señor. Hola, señor. Luis? Sí. Gracias, señor. Sí. We have finally arrived in Punta Arenas, in the southern part of Chile here. And this city is a really big set-off point for a lot of expeditions to Antarctica and a lot of the other kind of remote and extreme areas of Chile. Some of the big mountains in the Andes, and the glaciers, and a lot of the other cool areas. And while this time I'm not going to Antarctica, I am going to the southernmost city on Earth. It's also quite cold here. Much colder than it was in Santiago. Here it's about 27 degrees and I think it'll be even colder in Punta. Oh, I'm in Punta Arenas. It'll be colder in Puerto Williams. Puerto Williams is quite a remote and not extremely small, but relatively small city, and so I'm concerned that the prices of food, amongst many other things, are going to be quite high there. So what I'm going to go do right now is run by the grocery store here in Punta Arenas, which is a city of about 80,000 or so, maybe a little bit more even, 100,000, to see if it's a little bit less expensive to get some food for a few days. So I got about $30 worth of groceries here for the next several days, and I'm hoping this will be enough. I'm just waiting outside the Airbnb for an Uber to get to the boat. And the Uber driver's name is Themistocles. Hola, señor. La mer es muy bella hoy, ¿no?
Sí.
I think that's the boat there. Aquí es bueno, yo creo.
Sí.
I finally arrived at the boat terminal, but I don't know which one of these boats is the one that we're supposed to be getting on, because you have this yellow one right here, which is the one that just pulled in, and then you have the red one over here. And from all the photos and videos that I saw online, it looks like the red one in the back there. Time to board.
Only chicken. Yes?
This is beautiful. You get to see the whole sea before slipping on the friggin' ice on the deck. Let's go to the top here. So here's the other ship right here that we're not taking. Looks significantly bigger. Let's get some more brightness in here. There we go. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of vehicles on here. I don't know, a dozen or so passenger cars and maybe half a dozen larger tractor trailers. Well, we're finally setting off now from Punta Arenas here in southern Chile, and right now it's about 5:26. So we're supposed to leave at 6 p.m. and this is a 32-hour boat ride. So we're going to arrive at Puerto Williams at 2 a.m. not tomorrow, but the following day. So it's a 32-hour journey on a quite a long ride here, and it's only going to get colder. Further south we go. Tú vivas en Punta Arenas, pero tú tienes un trabajo en Puerto Williams.
Sí.
¿Es con algo con pescado?
Sí, el mango.
¿Qué tú haces con la pescado?
Sí, sacamos la centolla y la producimos en la pesquera.
El pescado va a otra ciudad.
Al mundo, a Corea,
Oh, en todo el mundo.
Inglaterra,
Oh, de verdad.
Estados Unidos.
Sí, sí.
Canadá,
Ok. De verdad.
todo el mundo.
Ok. ¿Qué es tu nombre?
Iván.
Iván. Duncan. Sleeping and woke up by a really big jolt. Not exactly sure what's going on. A little bit hard to see, but the boat seems to be rocking back and forth a little bit more than normal here. Waves seem to be a little bit more rough around the edges. Jesus. See on the map here, we are getting a little bit more in open ocean. came to a stop here, kind of abruptly. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Seems like we just pulled into a stop along the way, which I was not aware that there was a stop along the way. There is I don't have cell phone service, so I can't exactly check, but from what I can see on the map, it looks like there is nothing here. I think we've reached Puerto Williams here. Yeah, there it is, way up in the distance. Extremely dark out, so you can't even see it right now. I know it's extremely dark outside, it's pitch black here, I'm shooting at like 300,000 ISO. But again, right here is Puerto Williams on this side of the channel. This is the Beagle Channel. And over here is Argentina. And the border between the two countries splits right down the middle of the Beagle Channel. So we're just on the Chilean side of the channel right here, right next to Puerto Williams. But then just on the other side here is Argentina. Alright, time to go. And off we go. Stepping foot for the first time in Southernmost City in the world. We were actually supposed to arrive at 2 in the morning according to the schedule on the website, but I guess we made better progress than what was expected. So right now it's about 10 o'clock, so 4 hours ahead. That's good. Alba?
Sí,
Alba, estoy Duncan.
hola.
Listo.
Okay.
Muchas gracias para venir aquí este tiempo anoche.
Llegó temprano.
Sí, 4 horas. Yo creo que nosotros llegamos aquí en 2 horas en la mañana.
Llega tu hija.
Muchas gracias, señora.
Bueno, nos juntamos allá.
Yo creo que es muy tarde esta noche.
Este dormitorio.
After a much needed night's rest, I woke up the next morning to find Puerto Williams covered in a blanket of fresh snow from overnight. And before going out to explore the city, my very kind Airbnb host, Alba, made us some breakfast. Alba, who's the Airbnb host here, has made an entire buffet of breakfast here. You have all of this amazing food here that she just made for me. And because we got in really late last night and I hadn't slept really too much in the last few days, it's almost noon right now, which is not very good, but the fact that she has made me all of this right here is very, very amazing. Me levanta tarde esta mañana.
No, no importa. Yo igual, yo también.
Nunca tengo una persona sobre Airbnb quien hace toda la comida como este.
Ah,
Porque usualmente cuando yo uso Airbnb es para mí en todo apartamento, solo para mí, o una casa solo para mí.
con otras personas.
Sí, sí.
Sí.
Yo creo que es mejor.
Con otras personas.
Sí.
Sí.
Some may argue that the city of Ushuaia, just across the channel in Argentina to the north, is the actual southernmost city in the world, and their arguments would have some merit. Ushuaia is a city of 80,000 year-round residents, with all of your typical trademarks of any large population center, and although it certainly is a city by any and all reasonable metrics, so is Puerto Williams. There is no doubt that Puerto Williams is located more geographically south than Ushuaia, because it sits on the southern side of the Beagle Channel, but there is no agreed upon international definition of what a city is. Even the United Nations can't pin a single definition for a city. Of the many definitions that do exist, a few of the more widely accepted metrics are by population, physical size, and administrative functions. Puerto Williams has a permanent population of about 2,000 residents, with half of them being Chilean naval personnel who are stationed on the island for 4-year tours. There is an airport, pier, marina, hospital, fire station, one bank, one gas station, which is closed on Sundays, and a few small restaurants and cafes that serve the local population. Enough for me to consider this place a city. The views here are just utterly spectacular. You can see the entire sound, the channel, and the snow-capped mountains all the way on the other side in Argentina. Everything on this side of the channel is in Chile, and everything you see on the other side of the channel there is in Argentina. We are so close to the border with Chile and Argentina. It splits the channel here right down the middle. Now last night my phone auto-connected to Argentina. I woke up with a notification that says, "Welcome to Argentina, your service will resume shortly." That is how close we are between these two countries. Hey Wolfie! Hey Wolfie! Hey Wolfie, how are you doing? Oh, you're so cute, yes. You like this, don't you? You're a feral dog, aren't you, unfortunately? Oh, I'm so sorry, Wolfie. They even have evacuation routes for, in case a tsunami were to come here, which, if you kind of look at the geography of this area, I think it would be very unlikely that a tsunami were to happen right here, because we're right in the middle of the Beagle Channel between Chile and Argentina. I'm walking to the terminal area where all the boats are, and right across the water I hear a bunch of cows. You can even hear them right now. Of all the things that I did not expect to see on the southern edge of the planet, it would definitely be cows walking along a snowy shoreline in southern Chile. They're just walking up the shoreline like it's none of their business. I think we just got invited to go do the polar plunge here in Puerto Williams. ¿Eres listo, Alba?
Sí, vamos.
Sí? Alba is going to come jump with us. Oh, ¿listo? ¿Tú tienes ropas para ir en agua?
No,
No?
no. Así no.
I thought she had told me that she was going to jump in as well.
¿Tú vas
Sí,
a saltar a la
sí.
Jumping.
Off we go.
De aquí al miércoles ya tiene que ir el olor o tiene una textura.
Oh man, I was here yesterday. Hola, Pedro. Is this an event every year? Cada año? Cada año
Yes,
aquí?
every year.
Every year?
Every year, yeah.
¿Cuántos años?
¿Hace cuánto años hace esto?
Hace como 3 años atrás, mamá. No, como 5 años.
Like 5 years ago.
Okay. Alright, I guess I need to register here.
Nombre,
Duncan, nombre primero.
¿ok?
Oye, a todo esto también. Esto además hay que agradecer. Por si acaso siempre la seguridad ante todo. Y también la delegación. Esto con las manos.
Oh my god, it's cool! Woo! Woo! Oh my! Ah! Oh my god, it's so freaking cold here. Oh. Okay, I think I need to go all the way in now. Oh man, it's cold. Oh my god. ¿Tú quieres ir conmigo? ¿Al agua? No. ¿No? ¿Tú no quieres? Oh, that was fun. That was one hell of a polar plunge. If I've ever done one before, which I have. Later on that day, a friend of my new esteemed Airbnb host, Alba, was able to get us a private tour of the local heritage museum that was still closed to the public, and unfortunately, they asked us not to film inside the museum.
Las fotografías solamente sin flash y no se publiquen, por favor.
Okay.
De la
This
fotografía.
museum is in construction. It's not open for the public.
Okay.
So only photos and only videos, no flash, no public in social media.
Even though I wasn't allowed to film inside, we learned quite a bit of history about this region, and those that have inhabited these islands for thousands of years. The Yagans, the original locals of these islands I talked about at the beginning of this video. Hay muchos perros aquí en esta ciudad. Why are there a lot of dogs?
I don't know. No lo sé. No sé
you don't
por
know?
qué. No.
There are lots of, we call them stray dogs, porque ellos no tienen casa. Ellos
No tienen casa.
Sí.
Las personas los alimentan. So, everywhere. No, ellos no tienen dueño.
Oh, entonces los perros vivan en la calle.
Sí,
Okay. It's sad.
Sí,
Sad.
es sad.
Yes.
Pero están bien alimentados.
Yeah. How long have you lived here in Puerto Williams?
Only 2 months ago. It's my first time here. Only 2 months ago, live here.
Where in Chile are you from?
From Santiago.
What are you here for work?
Yes, for work. I worked in the system of justice.
Oh, okay. So you catch criminals.
Yes.
Is there a lot of crime here?
No crime here.
No.
It's a little bit violence, familiar violence.
Okay.
And fights. No more than only this. Only fights, only familiar violence, and alcoholic people.
Okay.
Only this is crime in this place. No more.
Break into houses?
No,
not here?
Incredible, no.
Wow.
No accidents, nothing about this.
That's good. Is that different from Santiago?
Yes,
Yeah.
Santiago is very different. Santiago is only crime, murder and kill, assault. Very crime in Santiago, but no more crimes. It's crime like a big city. All it is. Eso, Santiago es lo único. Es más crimen, pero no tanto, tampoco no es muy inseguro.
¿Cuántos tiempo tú quieres ir aquí en Puerto Williams?
Maximum for 2 years.
Oh, de verdad.
Yes.
2 años.
Sí, máximo. Es por ahorro. I don't say it's for. I need the money. You know, in this place the money is more más que en el resto del país. In this place, more money.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only for this. For 2 years, no more.
Do you have familia? ¿Tú tienes familia en Santiago?
Sí.
¿Esposa o
No.
niños?
No.
No.
Ah,
¿Abuelos?
sí.
Okay.
Abuelos,
y padres.
padres,
Okay.
primos, hermanos, sobrinos.
Since you have only been here 2 months, do you prefer to live here or in Santiago?
It's a good question. In this moment, I prefer live in this place, live here. But the future in Santiago, because in Santiago is all my life. Is all my friends, all my family. Santiago is a really interesting city. This place is good for me in this moment. but the future, I don't know.
This morning, I am off to the old artillery battery and the trenches that were dug right along the coastline back in the 60s and 70s, back when Chile and Argentina were having their big feuds that literally almost ended in full, all-out war that was fortunately mediated by the Pope, of all people, from the Vatican back in the early 70s. And as you can see, it's extremely pitch black out right now. This is 8:30 in the morning right now. This is also in mid-July, so this is almost the dead of winter. So really, in just a week or so, will be the darkest day here. It's a pretty efficient way of getting around. What is this place? Even though I wasn't expecting to run into a place like this in such a remote region of the world, it's important to know that even those who live at the very edge of the world are still a very religious people. I mean, look at this place. It is in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There are no buildings or residents or anyone else around except for this road right here. That's just off camera. That runs right along the other side of the fence line right here. Other than that, there is absolutely nothing out here. Tell me this is not one of the creepiest areas ever. I just came from the road up there, which ends kind of where the housing starts up around the corner there, and then I'm going down this way right here to where the artillery battery is. And this is where the strange religious site in the middle of nowhere is. It's been quite a walk so far, but we are almost there. Just a little longer to go. We have arrived. Sitting at the far western reaches of Puerto Williams lie the remnants of a conflict between two nations that never occurred. A Cold War in effect between Chile and Argentina over the disputed ownership of just 3 islands directly to the east of the city was a conflict that fortunately never came to fruition, known as the Beagle Channel Conflict. Artillery pieces and tactical vehicles now rest where they once were ready for armed confrontation with an enemy, the memories of which are still in the minds of locals, including the oldest resident of Puerto Williams, who I was able to sit down with. Do you think it would be appropriate to ask about living in the times when there was a little bit of conflict between Chile and Argentina?
¿Cómo fue pasar ese tiempo cuando había problemas con Argentina?
Ah, porque yo trabajaba en esos años, trabajaba en el hospital naval.
¿Te asustaste?
No, no.
She wasn't afraid.
Lo único que en las casas
Sí.
teníamos que poner frazadas para que no se vea la luz de afuera.
Okay. They had to cover windows with blankets at night so that light won't come through.
So that the buildings can be seen from far away?
Right.
Were any other precautions taken to
¿Alguna
ensure
otra
their safety?
precaución que tomaron aparte de
En la
eso?
calle cuando salíamos o alguien se enfermaba a ir al hospital tenía que tener su clave, una clave, como ser cualquier clave, para llegar ante los infantes.
¿Y tocaban sirena?
No.
Were they worried about people getting in the hospital that weren't supposed to be there?
Enfermos, gente enferma,
Just only sick people were allowed.
podían ir al hospital, pero con una clave tenían que tener.
They had to have the code, otherwise they couldn't get in.
Was that a very tense time to live in?
Así, porque aquí había mucho infante marino, todo eso, estaba rodeada la isla, Pista Nueva, Lemos.
Yeah.
Was she happy when the Pope came in and mediated a peace between the two nations?
No, para aquí, guerra, para aquí.
Sí, pues yo creo que
None.
They were all waiting for the Pope to do something.
So they were expecting him to come.
Yeah. Senseless war.
All of these old artillery pieces are placed here back in the 60s, late 60s and early 70s, back when Chile and Argentina were significantly feuding between each other right before the Pope came in and mediated all of that. And right over here, just on the other side of these trees, is the Beagle Channel, where the border between Argentina and Chile runs right down the middle. You know, you would think it's kind of strange that all of this old military equipment and weaponry, artillery pieces would just be left here to rot, but it's actually quite common all over the world as conflicts change and armies change and times change, and there no longer exists a need for these defensive weapons. They're just left there, and then that's what leaves you with really cool stuff like this. Older artillery pieces that are just left here. Oh my lord, what are these views? Oh my god, look at this. This has to be one of the most geographically unique places on the planet, because you have all of this beautiful ocean water. This isn't open ocean, it's part of the Beagle Canal, but then right behind all of it you have all of these beautiful snow-capped mountains, and just across the channel over there is Argentina. So right now we're looking at Argentina. I've been to a lot of areas where they have old, retired, and kind of abandoned military gear and equipment, vehicles, weapons, what have you. But this place is a little bit more creepy than some of the others. It's really desolate. It truly is in the middle of nowhere here, and there's no one else around. And it seems like the stuff that was put here was literally just abandoned overnight. Everything looks like it was just left in a hurry. Elba has been such a generous and hospitable host that I've offered to cook her and the other guest here dinner for tonight, which should just be a big pasta dish with some peas and some vegetables. Instead of her cooking me a meal for once, I'm going to cook her a meal and some of the other guests here tonight. She's got 3 stoves here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. And in 2 different kitchens. There's a kitchen here, and there's another one right here. So I've got quite a bit of cooking space to choose from.
Hola.
Hola, do you know where Elba is?
Oh?
Do you know Elba?
Alba. En su casa. I help you.
¿Esta?
Yes.
Okay. ¿Listo?
¿Sí?
¿Listo? Bueno.
Ahí está. Puedes cocinar.
La cena es lista ahora.
Se ve muy bien.
¿Qué tú piensas?
Bueno. Sí, está dado el gas.
Oh.
¡Wow! Se ve bueno.
Usualmente tengo carne también, usualmente chorizos.
¿Chorizos, sí?
Sí, chorizos. Tú tocas una... ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice para este?
Cuchillo.
Cuchillo.
Sí.
Tú tocas el chorizos
Los picas.
sí, sí.
Cualquier cosa le puede pedir.
So you're saying that the purest water in the world is in Puerto Williams here in Chile?
Yes.
In the whole world?
In the whole world.
Really?
Really? It's...
I have to look this up.
Oh
my God, it is. Look at this.
Ay, yo voy a traer un tenedor.
¿Ah?
I would have never guessed. I never thought that.
Sí, no, look, es que this water is direct from the Rio Uquica.
Whereas,
It's the most purified water in the world, in the
Really?
whole world.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, that was a pretty good dinner, I must say. But it is getting a bit late now, so I am going to call it tonight and go to bed, and I will see you all bright and early in the morning. Oh, muchas gracias. So every morning that I've been here, she has made a very nice, healthy, hearty breakfast, and she does this for all of her guests, and it's not something I've ever seen in an Airbnb before. So this is quite the series of experiences here in Chile, specifically in the El Fin del Mundo, the end of the world, here in Puerto Williams, Chile. Adiós.
Adiós. Espérate,
Oh.
que demora mucho.
Un agrado,
Sí.
muy bueno.
Sí.
Very good, very good. Vos tienes que regresar.
Sí, por supuesto.
¿Ya?
Yo vuelvo aquí.
Sácame la foto
Espérate,
con...
que no sé qué se pasó acá, guarda.
A ver, sácame con el mío entonces. Este ha sido uno de los mejores viajes en los que he estado. Usted y sus amigos y familiares fueron algunas personas más amables que conocí. Muchas gracias. Fuego.
After spending a very friendly 4 days in Puerto Williams, I've come to realize that even though we may appear to be so far away from each other, we are really a lot closer to one another than we think. Even if some of us choose to live at the literal end of the world, it's still not too far away to be a kind and open human being to a total stranger. I'll see you all in the next adventure.